TitleMatchNetwork.com.
John Cena now is in a bus, so he's not in the locker room. But for the first few years that I was there, he was in the locker room, and he is a locker room leader. He leads by example. He's the first guy there, last guy to leave. He's in his gear. When we go to European tours, he was the guy that took it upon himself. He was the champ at the time to make sure the boys got together and shared some awesome memories in the pub or the bar, or wherever we were. Played cards. He's an animal. He trains like just an animal. Super strong. I love John Cena, but you know what? One thing I like about John Cena more, he's so smart. And when he gets into something, he researches and he reads, and he never drank before. And when he got into drinking, he knew everything about single malt scotch, double malt scotch, beers, yeast processing, fermenting. He got into it.
Right.
And he's a history buff with the war. He knows that. He got into bodybuilding. He became very good at that. Look at his physique. He got into pro wrestling. He became one of the best, legendary pro wrestlers in history. Whatever he sinks his teeth into, he becomes really good at it. He becomes obsessed with it. He learned Chinese to expand, the global market. What did he get into for a second there? He got into some other stuff, and he's learned so much about it. Cars. He knows everything about old cars, and he trades cards like cards.
Right.
And he's just so smart, man.
There's a lot of stories that went around that Cena politically cut the legs out of Alex Riley. Any insight to that at all? Or?
Alex Riley would think that. And it's every man for himself. It's an unspoken understanding. But to sabotage someone's career, that's a different thing. I don't know if he did that.
What was the beef between the two? I've heard a lot of different stories. I've heard weird stories, and I've heard other stories.
I don't know. I think there was times where I guess Cena wanted Riley to embrace the locker room mentality and come have some drinks, and if you don't want to, it's not that you're disrespecting the locker room, the way the system's in place, because there is a hierarchy, there is, seniority, and you have to pay your dues. And I don't know what happened, but at the same time, Alex wasn't wrestling perfect matches. His psychology was a little off sometimes. He looked great, hard worker, but once you get the boo-boo face backstage, it's seen. You can't hide that. So whatever happened, he got his ass chewed out. Sometimes he made a bad match, and maybe he got yelled at, and then it snowballed. I don't know what happened there. I definitely think WWE missed the boat with him. I think he could have been a big star for sure. Why he didn't, I'll never know. Yeah, I was in OVW with Ryback. He's another guy, man. What a work ethic. The guy trains like it's insane. I mean, hours of cardio, hours of weights. He's I guess a little OCD when it comes to it, but yeah, he's another guy. He did well. And the thing is, if you're not the kid, there's 100 guys. They're gonna choose 7. So you're gonna have 93 pissed off guys. You still got to be happy. He was a little frustrated there as well. I think he still is, obviously.
What do you think the tension is between him and Punk?
Punk is drug free. Punk accuses him of taking drugs, and Ryback's like, I work harder than you. I actually don't know. I think that's where it probably started from.
Ken Anderson.
Oh man, yeah. I actually rode a little bit with Ken too. Me, Randy, and Ken. When I was at OVW, he was there. He was the man. His ring presence is undeniable. Unfortunately, he got labeled as a dangerous worker, and that's a critical thing. I didn't work with him, so I never felt it. I think he's entertaining as hell still, to this day.
TitleMatchNetwork.com.